Should I quit my job to start real estate? This is a frequently asked question we get all the time. In this video, I'm going to talk about the best way to transition from your day job into a real estate investing career where you can have time freedom and location freedom, because after all, that's what we all want. Now, this can be a very, very difficult transition, and there's different ways to go about it. So let me give you a couple of different options, and then you can decide which option is best for you. Now, the first thing, of course, is to quit your job 100% and just start with real estate. Now, in this scenario, the problem becomes how are you going to pay your bills, your living expenses, all of those kind of things. So if that's not a concern for you and you have other ways to pay for that, then that's the best way to do it, is completely quit your job and then start real estate. Now, for most of us, we don't have that luxury. We still have to pay our rent, our mortgage, our living expenses. Maybe we have a family, all of those kind of things. So option number 2 is work at your job and save up 6 months to 1 year worth of living expenses, and then you can quit your job. That way you get rid of the job and you have 100% focus on real estate, and you can accelerate quicker and actually make that transition much quicker. Now, in this scenario, I recommend 1 year of living expenses. You can get away with 6 months, but it can be pretty tight. In this scenario, you also have to weigh your option of going back to your job if things don't work out within that time frame. Now, for me, for example, my day job was being an emergency room doctor, so I could go back very, very quickly. There was no issue there. Other people might have certain type of careers where it's kind of difficult to get back in once you've left for whatever reason. Most people are somewhere in the middle. It's not that big of a deal to go back. So again, weigh the different options, but that's a very, very popular option where you save up a certain amount of expenses, you get rid of your job so you have the time and mental energy to focus on real estate and really make it happen very quickly. Now, the third option is actually what I did, is where I worked my job as much as I could, even on a full-time basis, and still did real estate. Now, this can absolutely be done. That's exactly what I did. I worked full-time in the emergency room for many, many years while I was building my real estate company on the side. Now, this option takes more time, and obviously you got to work a lot harder because you're going to be working 2 jobs essentially. But remember, as I talk about in my book, Massive Action Equals Massive Results, there are 168 hours in every week, so it can absolutely be done. Even if you sleep 56 of those hours, which is 8 hours a night, it still leaves you over 100 hours per week to do your day job and real estate. Now, typical day jobs are about 40 hours a week, but let's face it, most people work 50 or even 60 hours. But even if you take that out, you still have plenty of time to work on real estate. The important thing here is to try to keep the daytime hours as open as possible, because that's when real estate's going to happen. Now, I understand with a lot of jobs that's not possible, but maybe you can tailor your job where you work afternoons, you work evenings, you work weekends, those type of things, when the real estate is not happening as much. But again, even if you have to work 8 to 5, Monday through Friday, you can still do real estate. It is possible, but it's not easy. But again, if you want to be an entrepreneur, nothing is easy. Even everything I do today, even though I don't have a day job, is still difficult because I'm taking on bigger and bigger challenges. So you have to be the kind of person who looks forward to that, who is excited by challenges. If that's not for you, then maybe this whole investing and real estate entrepreneurship thing is really not for you anyways. Also, the other concept to understand here is that there are actually 3 weeks in every week. That's right, I said there are 3 weeks in every week. And any entrepreneur out there who's listening to this knows what I'm talking about. You can actually have a 3x advantage over the other person if you understand this concept, that there are actually 3 weeks in every week. The first week is the regular work week, right? Monday through Friday, 8 to 5, 9 to 5, whatever your normal work week is. You can get a normal amount of work done in that work week. But guess what? There's 2 more. There's the evenings. If you take the time between 5 p.m. and 10 p.m. or even midnight, that's an entire another work week, Monday through Friday. So you can have a day job, work all day, and work on real estate in the evenings. Or you can flip-flop it, work on real estate all day, and then do some sort of job in the evenings to pay your bills. But guess what? There's even a third week, which is the weekend. Starts at 5 p.m. Friday and ends at 8 a.m. Monday. And I've worked plenty of weekends, worked the entire weekend straight through to get a project done, to work on something, whatever it may be. So again, you can work on real estate on the weekends as well. You may have to do a little bit during the week, but you can use that large chunk of time that you have that's uninterrupted to educate yourself, to learn about deals, to do practice deals, to work on actual deals, whatever you need to do to launch your real estate investing career and live the life of your dreams. Now, the interesting thing about transitioning is the higher paying job you have, the more prestigious job you have, it's actually harder to transition. I actually faced that when I was working as a physician because I was making about $250,000 a year, and to replace that income, it took a lot. I had to get my real estate company to quite a level before I could even replace that income. And it's very difficult to tell your family, your wife, your children that, guess what, we're living in this nice house right now, we're driving these nice cars, but we're going to go backwards because I want to do real estate. So it's a very difficult transition. The more money you're making, the more prestigious your job is, that can actually make it more difficult. For those of you working smaller jobs, making less money, maybe $50,000 a year, it's actually much easier because you can replace that income much quicker. A $50,000 a year job can be replaced with one flip, which is one deal. You can replace that job. For me, I had to get to the point where I was doing at least 5 flips a year just to replace that income. Now, of course, I'm doing much bigger deals now, so I can replace that income and more in one deal. But when I was starting, the deal size that I was doing, I was making about $50,000 profit per deal. So getting to the point where you're doing 5 deals regularly per year can take quite a bit of time. And also, the more prestigious your job is, the harder it is because everybody gets to know you as the doctor, a lawyer, a high-level executive, whatever it is, and they're saying, "Oh my God, I can't believe you quit that job. What are you doing? You're crazy. What's going on? What happened?" All those kind of things. Why did you leave? Did something go wrong? All of those kind of things. Even my cousin faced that. He was a fairly high-level executive at 3M and decided to quit and start his own company and become an entrepreneur. 90% of people told him he was stupid and crazy. He should have stuck with it, climbed the corporate ladder, and he would have had a great life. But guess what? This guy is worth well over $100 million right now, so I think he made the right choice. So again, this can be a very difficult transition. It's not easy for all of the reasons I talked about in this video, but it can definitely be done. Just pick one of those 3 ways that you want to do this and go with that direction, whatever it may be. If you have to pick option 3 like I did, it's going to be a lot of time, and part of it is mental focus. You have to be able to focus on one thing at one point and then change over and focus on something else. Ideally, you can just get rid of your job at like option number 1 or option number 2. That way you have 100% mental focus, time, clarity, all those kind of things on what you want to do. But whatever your situation is, I don't know you personally, but pick one, run with it. But don't delay, start now, because so many people have waited way too long and just not ever done real estate and been trapped in the corporate world or their job they hate or whatever and never have gotten out of it. So make sure you start today. If you like this video, make sure to like the video, subscribe to this channel, and turn on your notifications because we post very important videos on a regular basis and you don't want to miss out on any of the great content.